Hello, welcome to Unfiltered. I am Ria, your host, Unfiltered with real and raw conversations. Today's podcast is special because I love food, and today I am going to chit chat with Lojo Karatra, who is with Little Italy, and it is my favorite brand for sure. Welcome, Lojo. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on this podcast. I've been associated with the brand for almost 7 years now, and yeah, looking forward for all the questions that you have for me.
So, welcome to our podcast, and it's an honor to be here today and chit chat with you. So, I would like to know, how did you start with hospitality, your education, and how did you end up here?
Yeah, so it was basically a mistake, to be honest. It was by chance that I got into hospitality. So I was always very envious of a friend of mine, a neighbor, whom my parents used to look up to. Look at this friend of yours and how good he is.
Sharma ji ka beta.
Sharma ji ka beta, exactly. So he got into hotel management, and I was like very envious. I also need to get into hotel management. So that's how I did IHM. Got through the entrance exam, although I was not expecting I'll get through, but yeah, got through it. Did not get the best of the colleges. My rank was like crazy. It was like 2000 something rank, but yeah, got into it because I wanted to get into the hospitality industry. But then the world changed. The reality hit that hospitality industry is not that glamorous. It looks glamorous from the outside, not inside. But once the decision was made, I had to continue and go through it. So that's how I started, and got into this hospitality industry. And to be honest, I started as a chef.
Oh wow! Okay. So what was your first thing you cooked?
It was a pasta. It's the easiest. So basically, I was a baker.
Okay.
Bakery confectionery was my specialty. So during the hotel management, you're given choices. You can either be, a housekeeper, or you can be in the service, or you can be the front office manager, or whatever. Once you grow, or you can be a chef. So in the first year, I was like, okay, I want to be, a butler. I want to be that person who serves the VIPs. But then things changed. My interest changed because I got into the industry during the industrial training, and I said, this is not something that I want to do. Then I thought I'll get into front office, but then over the course of time, that also changed. I ended up being a chef. So yeah, everything was by mistake and by chance, but I think all's good that ends well, I guess.
Yeah, so I believe that it's okay to not have a plan.
Absolutely.
So life has its own plans.
Absolutely. And our business is exactly that. You can't work with 100% planning.
I think every day is different for you.
Every day, every customer is different. So, you should have that knack of, managing things very last minute. Correct. I think that's one of the skills that you need to have.
Yeah. So my next question is about customers in hospitality industry. So you must have met different kind of customers, right?
Right.
Yeah. So how is your experience with customers? I mean, there might be some really good customers who have given you good feedback, but there might be also some cranky customers. So how do you usually handle such customers?
Right. So there are two parts to this, right? One is those kind of customers who give you a good feedback all the time, although they are not very happy. And those are the tricky ones, because when you go for a feedback and, you'll ask them, how was the food, how was the experience, did you like what you eat? They'll be like, yeah, everything was good. But, deep down somewhere they did not like something. And those are dangerous customers, because they'll go back, and today it's a digital world, everybody will be online posting all the negative things later, and then the damage control is much more difficult, right? So that is one set of customers who we deal with. The second set of customers are actually the genuine ones. If they're angry, they're actually giving you an opportunity to win them back, to improve on your service, and they actually care about the brand, or what you are doing basically as a brand. And that's why they are genuine. If they're angry, they're giving you a chance to improve. So for me, those are more important customers. Because they are the voice of the customers in general. Most of them, they choose not to speak, but those who do, I think that's a gift for us. So you should treat it as a gift. As
So
a
I think customer satisfaction is the main part in hospitality
Absolutely,
industry,
I mean
right?
that goes without saying. That is the oil that this machine needs. This profit making machine.
Yes, so true. So I guess you also worked in Oman.
Yeah, Oman
Right?
and UAE.
UAE,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So what are the cultural differences you faced in those countries and in India?
So there are a lot of difference. Starting with how you treat people, how extroverted one can be, versus a local or an Indian. And in fact, when I was there, there were people from different nationalities. I'm talking about people from Thailand, from Kenya. I'm trying to understand all the extremes here. So,
So basically, Cosmo culture.
Cosmo, absolute Cosmo.
Okay.
And UAE is known for that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people from different parts of the world come there to make money, to have a good living. So, what motivates people changes from region to region. I'm not talking about money and stuff. And basically, let's say you have a vision, and if the team is not aligned, nothing falls in place.
True.
So cultural difference, what matters to them, might not matter to the other. So having everybody on board and working towards a common goal, that is what we focus on. And my experience has been that if you are able to crack that, everything else is a smooth ride. Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
So definitely a lot of differences, but things at the end is easy because they're all human beings, right? You have to touch their heart. You have to know what clicks for them, and that's how you manage people.
Correct. Okay, so the other day I was discussing with my friends. So I have two kind of friends in one group. Okay, so one of my friends will always choose like a place with good ambience and who will serve like neatly.
Yeah.
And my another friend, she is a typical person who will love roadside. If she'll love to go to some dhaba. And personally, it depends. It depends on my mood. At times I am this, or at times I'm that. So, what do you think? Does ambience really matters a lot when it comes to hospitality?
See, now it depends upon the kind of restaurant that you operate, right? In hospitality, if we're talking about a proper sit-down restaurant, definitely ambience matters a lot more than what owners and operators like us think.
Correct.
Because today people want it to be an Instagrammable moment.
Exactly.
People want their visits to be memorable. So to achieve all that, ambience is the first step, I would say, and it goes a long way, right? It also drives, if you talk about business and numbers, it drives repeatability, it drives new footfall, because when you post this on Instagram or any platform for that matter, there are a lot of views and then conversions as well. So definitely ambience plays a big role. But having said that, only ambience will not work, right? It's a machine.
The quality as well.
Everything has to work well. The food, the way the staff is, because that's also part of the ambience. To be honest, it's not just the ceilings and paintings and stuff. It is to do with how they are treated. What is the kind of experience they're getting. So everything put together definitely is utmost priority in hospitality. And if you're talking about let's say a roadside stall, probably the ambience has got nothing to do there, but how the food is consistent. What is the kind of taste they are able to come up with every time. That I think is the main success factor there. So this is, like I said, it depends upon the format or what you're looking at.
True.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And okay, so you are with Little Italy for I guess 7 years.
7 years now.
7 years now. Amazing. So have you seen or noticed any change when you joined Little Italy? And I mean I'm talking from customers' point of view. So because I feel 7 years ago I was not a pasta lover, which I am for sure now, because awareness has increased. Correct. And like there are not many places who are serving Italian food.
Absolutely.
But literally being the OG, still.
Yeah.
I mean, what difference have you seen from the other side of the table?
So let me start with how and when we started, right? So
Yeah.
in 1989, we started the first vegetarian Italian fine dine restaurant, and we've taught India how to eat Italian, right? What Italian is. From there till where we are today, we've seen a lot of ups and downs with COVID for sure.
Yeah.
Right, being a major factor. But yes, we have been strong, we are sustaining, and we are growing. Like this month also, there are 2 new outlets that we are opening.
Wow, congratulations on that.
Thank you. So, from a customer standpoint, what I've seen is there has been a lot of literacy that people have got about Italian food, like you rightly said. Now, traveling abroad is one of the reasons where they are exposed to a lot of Italian food and many other cuisine, of course, but I'm sticking to my domain right now. So they have seen that, they've experienced it, they understand what a sourdough is, they understand what the Sicilian means, and what a pesto is. Back in those days when we started, people didn't even know what the pesto sauce is made up of.
What pasta is, I think.
What pasta is. Today people come, and I'm talking about kids 8-9 years, they come and talk about do you have that ravioli, I'm looking at gnocchi and stuff like that. I was like, my god, 8-year 9-year-old kid, and they know their things. They know about Italian food, and in fact most of our servers at times did not know about things that they are talking about. So I would say it is exposure to Italian food because of traveling, and because it is becoming a household. So basically Italian today is what a Chinese has become.
Correct.
So after Indian, I think the next obvious choice is Chinese. And Italian.
Yeah.
Right. So it's becoming a household name. So from a customer standpoint, this is what I feel, that they know a lot more. So you can't fool around with customers today.
Absolutely not.
And as a brand or as a restaurant owner, if you want to serve Italian, then you should know what authentic Italian means, what the Indians prefer, and based on that you should work on your menu and your design.
Correct. So what are the top 3 dishes, best sellers for Little Italy?
So we being Indian, I mean, all our customers are vegetarian, so they are Gujarati, Marwadi, all those Jain community. They like their pink sauces. So we have a product called Barbaresca, which is a pasta sauce. That is the top. If you talk about pasta, that is the best seller pasta. Nachos with cheese sauce is our starter that is on top. And Napoli pizza is, the best pizza that we sell. Of course, these are just 3 names that I just mentioned.
I mean, I think everything on the menu is super tasty, and delicious. And especially the chocolate mousse, I guess.
So a lot of people these days are moving away from the chocolates, and they are more into tiramisu. Tiramisu is again in demand, so back in those days we were the only ones who started, and we were selling it. But today I think even a small QSR today comes up with their version of tiramisu, these small balls that they are working. I don't know if you're looking at Instagram these days, crazy varieties of tiramisu, pistachio tiramisu, I don't know what not, but we are limiting ourselves to the authentic ones, of course.
Anytime authentic is works.
We kept it simple, basically.
Perfect. So my last question to you in this segment is, what advice would you like to give a youth who wants to enter hospitality industry?
Okay. So this is with all the experience that I have, and my general observation and my humble request. If you're passionate about restaurant business, you can only give birth to a restaurant. But to keep it alive, you need discipline and consistency. Right? So, and let me just explain this, right? I just mentioned it in one line, but let me go through in depth. A lot of people there, they don't know numbers about the business. They don't know what are the margins. They feel, okay, something is made for 30 and we are selling at 100 rupees. So that's 70% margin. That is a profit. It is not. right? It is a tough business. At the end of the day, majority restaurant owners will agree to what I'm saying, that you end up with 15% maybe as your net profit if you're doing well. Right?
Yeah.
If you're making a sale of X, then 15% is what you take home if you're doing well. There are a lot of brands who are not doing that, are not able to achieve that profitability. So all your passion and dreams goes down the drain. So my number one advice is to understand the numbers, the whole ROI and the P&L of the business, how this business
So gain
works.
clarity.
To get clarity of how this
Okay,
business
yeah.
works. Second is to have a pool of money to sustain this business for at least 24 months, right? Keeping all the fixed costs in mind, because you'll have to pay rents, you'll have to pay salaries, you'll have to pay utility bills, no matter whether there is a customer walking in or not.
Yeah.
So if you're really passionate, have the kind of financial bandwidth as well to sustain for the next 24 months at least. If these two things are taken care of, definitely you will sail through. Make sure that you're consistent in what you are selling, what the brand stands for. That is point number 3. And if you have all these things in place, there will be repeat customers, there will be customers who will appreciate, and they are your only customers.
Correct.
You can't serve to the whole world.
True.
You have your own customers and they'll come to you.
And I think I'll just add one point in this. You should know your product well, because
Absolutely.
I have seen it personally. So there was one restaurant, I was in Mumbai, there was a restaurant, I visited there. The owner, he was unaware about all his products. I mean, there was a huge list, and when I asked him कि इसमें क्या क्या डाला है डलता है, so he was unable to say. Maybe he must have outsourced it, or I have no idea. But if you are the face of the restaurant, you should have the clarity.
No, absolutely.
Of the
Today people actually take it to the next level. They would want to know where the ingredient was sourced from.
Correct.
What is the history behind this? They ask a lot of questions.
Correct. On the other hand, when I visited Jaipur, there's a small cafe in one of the mall, in middle of the mall. That person, he was so what I would say, educative, and when I ordered coffee, he was giving me entire explanation. Coffee beans kahan se source hue hai, and how it's working, how is the entire process, how are they crushed and everything. So know your product, have clarity, have courage to start your business, and this is amazing advice which you shared to our viewers, to our youth. Thank you so much. And here we end our first segment. Let's move to the second one.
Sure.
Okay, so let's start with the segment 2. इसमें भी 2A and 2B ऐसे हमने break किया.
Alright.
First is you have to say agree or you disagree. I'll ask you 5 sentences.
Okay.
Just say if you agree or disagree. And second is fast 5.
Okay.
So they're like really quick questions with quick answers.
Done.
Okay. Let's start with the first one. Agree or disagree. Restaurants fail due to systems, not food.
Agree.
Discipline matters more than margins in hospitality.
Agree.
Customers remember treatment, not menus.
Absolutely agree.
Consistency beats creativity.
Oh, any day. Absolutely agree.
Human warmth matters more than technology.
Agreed.
Perfect. So, sab kuch agree. Amazing. And now the last question. The last segment.
Yeah.
Fast 5.
Yeah.
One myth about restaurants.
One myth about the restaurant is there's a lot of profits, great numbers, great margins. That is one big myth.
Yeah, that's not the truth.
That's not the truth.
हमने अभी discuss किया.
Exactly.
One funny customer habit.
Sticking chewing gum under the table.
Oh my god. One thing customers get attached to.
I would say the way they were treated. So, the kind of experience that they get attached to that.
Amazing. One strength of being in hospitality.
Patience. If you are a part of the hospitality business, it gives you one big strength, that is patience. You will be a very good person who can manage difficult situations because you're patient.
So when I was discussing this with my team, everyone thought the answer would be free food.
That also.
Your message to the youth.
Okay. Like I said before as well, it's the same thing, that if you want to enter this business, know the business well in advance. I would say join some company, learn everything from the scratch, from a cleaner's job to a restaurant manager's job for a year or two, and then you decide whether this is for you or not.
Correct.
So that's my advice to you.
Perfect. This was absolutely unfiltered with real and raw conversations with Mr. Lojo, and I had fun. Hope you also had fun watching this video. So subscribe, like, and share with your friends, especially who wants to join hospitality industry or who are into hospitality. Thank you. Signing off with Mr. Lojo. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was lovely.
Lovely. Yes.